Hey, fool, this ain't no football game.
Emma's a pimp!
Wait until the Reaper takes my life.
Lucky for you, you are right where you need to be. So sit back, relax, and turn up the volume on your streaming device. Johnny Ballgame, Sir Poops-a-Lot, and the Fantasy Reaper are about to deliver humor and fantasy gold at the same time. Crush your opponent with a smile. It's Fantasy Sports Island.
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Island. Oh, Johnny, too close. Too close, Johnny. Oh, speaking of Johnny. Johnny Ballgame!
What's up, everybody? What's up? Let's do some fantasy.
Johnny Ballgame is quietly making his move back into contention.
We'll see.
He does this every year, guys. Every year.
You think he sucks, and the next thing you know, you're like, dude, how did he get in second place? He was in last like a week ago.
Yeah, you look at his team and you're like, Johnny effed up this year. He's done. Yeah. And then a couple weeks roll by and you look at the standings and Johnny's in second, coming for your ass. It just happens every year.
Boom. Let's hope. Listen, long season still.
Long season. Tony Sir Poops-a-Lot.
Speaking of somebody's long season, what?
My God.
So Tony, tell us which quarterbacks you lost in that 2-quarterback league you're in.
Okay, so Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Winston was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Who's my Trey? And I had a fourth one too that was banged up that I can't remember who because I had to pick up 2. So I picked up, Gino and Rush. Eat off.
Yes. They did you a favor by getting hurt.
Season's over. I'll just have fun,
Yeah.
Nope, I killed it.
That's nice. How quickly the tide turns in fantasy football, folks. You could be 0-4 right now in your head-to-head league, and you're still not out of it. Because you just catch that one guy off the waiver wire, and boom, you explode and you get right back into things. I mean, Johnny does it every freaking year, guys. Last year, he got Cordell Patterson off the waiver wire, changed the course of his season. Amon St. Brown changed the course of his season. Just keep grinding, guys. Just keep grinding.
This is also the time of year when the people you drafted for depth on your bench, you're actually going to start using because everybody's getting injured. So if you did a little homework and drafted some cool people or some backups, some key backups, this is the time that starts to take place. And so hopefully you didn't give up on those guys because you're like, Williams isn't going to do crap this year. You don't know. Connor could go down next week and you're using Williams. So
Yep.
Yeah, like perfect example is Romeo Doubs. If you gave up on Romeo Doubs, you dropped him, you're pissed at yourself right now. And I'm one of those guys. I had to drop him in one league, and I totally regret it. It was a mistake. I wish I had him. Let me tell you. All right, guys, I'm the Fantasy Reaper. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Island. We do this every week. So what do you have to do? Johnny, tell them what they need to do.
You hit the bell. Hit the bell, and it'll just tell you when we're on. It's just that simple.
And Tony, what do they need to do so the algorithm recognizes our videos and gets it out to more people?
You need to like because you like me.
That's
right.
That's
you need
true.
to like and subscribe. And you need to click everything that's on that video. Everything. Just click it.
Click the
Shouldn't
like,
be too hard.
the bell, hit a comment. All that stuff is good for the algorithm. We appreciate the support.
Send gifts, money, whatever you got to do. Whatever you want to do to show your appreciation for us, we're up for it.
Because you know what we do for you? When you have that big week and you want to celebrate, you come on and we're going to talk about your boys that got you all those points. And when you have the bad weeks and you're down in the dumps, we're going to pick you up and make you grind through the season until you win that championship. So hang with us.
Here's what else we're going to do. When you don't listen to us and we tell you to play somebody or don't play somebody and you don't listen to us, we're going to make fun of you.
Oh, yeah, we do that for sure.
You guys have been making fun of me, probably.
It's one of the staples of our show.
It's kind of a given. That's why you watch.
All right, tonight, news and notes, fantasy heroes and zeros, and 10 things that we've learned so far this fantasy season. So that ought to be interesting.
I'm in.
All right, let's do this. Let's start with our news and notes. This one makes me sad. Denver running back Javonte Williams is out for the season with a torn ACL and could possibly miss some time early next season as well. It was sad because Javonte was actually starting to get the full workload that we were all anticipating. The Rooster only had one carry up to that point. And the funny thing is, the Roosters carry, he fumbles the ball away for a fumble 6 to the other team. And we're all thinking, yes. And he got banged up. And we were thinking, yes, it's over. It's not over. Nope, because the very next carry Javonte he tears his ACL. Now he's out for the season. And somehow the Rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo, is back. And now he's looking like the starter once again. But I want to know, John.
Maybe.
Who do you want in this Denver backfield now? Because not only is there Melvin Gordon, we saw a lot of Mike Boone, who actually got more snaps after Javonte went down. Or from the New Orleans practice squad, they stole Latavius Murray and added him to the Broncos. So now, who do you want in that backfield?
So I think I speak for a lot of people when I say Latavius Murray was still playing. Had no idea. I saw him. He got a little time in the Saints game this last week with Kamara gone. But no, I don't want him for sure. You said cock-a-doodle-doo. I think you meant cock-a-doodle-boone, because I think Boone is actually going to be the one who's going to get more play time. Gordon fumbles too much, and they don't like it, and they're pissed about it. And so he didn't play in the second half. Think about that. Javonte Williams went out, and Gordon got benched for Boone in the second half. That's what I want you to know.
He did, and I ran out and picked up Boone in every league possible. But the thing is, when they signed Latavius Murray this morning, that kind of concerns me. I'm thinking, I think he's going to play the Javonte role. I just have this feeling. Did you see him in the Saints game that he played in?
Look bad.
He looked pretty
bad.
good.
Yeah, he didn't look bad.
Pretty good. Tony, what do you think is going to shake out of this backfield?
I think they're gonna mix it up, man. I think you're gonna see all three of them. I really do. There's a chance that Latavius may not get a lot, that they're just picking him up for insurance purposes, but I think they're still gonna mix it up. Melvin Gordon's got to earn his way back. I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, I told you, Tony, I'm gonna write a novel, The Rooster That Wouldn't Die. Yeah. That's gonna be the title of my novel. This guy, he's died 6 times. The Reaper's taken him out twice. And yet here he is. He'll be starting next week for the Denver Broncos.
He's like Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. He's like
so we have like 10 more episodes of that, right? Yeah. All right. Here's some good news. The Pittsburgh Steelers have promoted Kenny Pickett to be their new starting quarterback over Mitchell Trubisky. First of all, John, I want to know, was this fair to Mitch? Did he get too short a leash?
I kind of feel like it was. I you know me, I was pushing for Mitch. I thought he's got good character and I like him and everything, but he runs a boring offense. He wasn't getting it to his playmakers. Nobody looked good on offense. And Mike Tomlin, got to give him credit, man. That guy's not sitting around waiting. He's going to play the person he thinks is the best person for the team. And so I kind of like it. And I'm not usually that guy. I like the rookies to sit for a year. I think Pickett's going to actually play pretty well and do better than Trubisky because he can't do much worse.
Yeah, he gets the ball down the field a little bit more. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have like a strong arm, but he gets the ball down the field, which Trubisky cannot do. And Tony, this is good for your boy Kenny Pickett. Or excuse me.
I got all those guys. I got
George Pickens. Yeah.
I got is it Pickens? I got that kid. I got Najee. Like I think it's gonna really hype up that team a little bit. Get them some like new blood, get them excited. I'm hopeful that he's gonna do a good job.
I think it's big for Pickens. Pickett to Pickens is a thing. He went over 100 yards and got most of the targets and the yardage after Trubisky was pulled from the game. So I'm excited. If I don't have any Pickens, I wish I did. But I'm excited for those of you that have him because it was smart to hold on to him. Things are about to change. All right. Do we worry about Deontay Johnson? Because he doesn't seem to click with Pickett.
I'm worried.
He wasn't clicking with Trubisky that much either. So
yeah.
Well, he got a lot of targets the first 3 games. But after Trubisky went out, I think he only saw 2 targets from Pickett. And one
I
was
think you'll see that even out a little bit more.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get rid of him yet.
Yeah, we got to give it a week or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to drop Deontay Johnson, but I'm a little worried about his production.
I'm kind of worried about Deontay overall. I'm starting to feel like between last year and now, like he might be a little overrated the way he was going in the drafts and stuff. I mean, he was really looked good the first couple of years with Roethlisberger. It was amazing. And these drop passes and patterns that he's had, a little bit of that reputation in the past seems to be more and more consistent now. And he doesn't seem to be really like dynamic on the field anymore. So,
but he always gets open. He runs the best routes, probably in the NFL.
He does get open.
Maybe next to Cooper Kupp, but he does run great routes, always open, does drop some passes, but he was top 20 the year before. He was top 20 last year.
True.
We'll see. All right. Colts running back Jonathan Taylor hopes to play on Thursday night after suffering what has been described as a minor high ankle sprain. So it's a short week for them. They play on Thursday. Do we think Jonathan? I want to ask you, Tony, because you have some shares of him. Do you think Jonathan Taylor makes it on the field this week?
I don't think he will. No, I don't think he will. I think it's too short, and their team still is a little bit questionable, and they need him to be healthy. And he also isn't looking too great right now. He's not really looking like a number one running back. So I think they're going to hold him off for the next 10 days.
They do need a healthy Jonathan Taylor, and I think they'd be smart to hold him out. John, do we run to the waiver wire and pick up, any of the other running backs on the Colts? They have, Naheem Hines, and they have the guy that used to be Gordon's backup in Denver. What's his name?
That other guy. I'd go with Himes. Yeah, Philip Lindsay. I'd pick up Himes. I think if you need somebody, I wouldn't rush out to get him, but maybe you need a starting running back this week. You could do worse. He can run. He can catch the ball. He especially can catch the ball. The offense doesn't look great in Indy anyway, so I don't know that I'm like sprinting out to get him, but I'd pick him up.
All right, and last bit of news that I have, the Dolphins have already announced that Tua Tagovailoa has been ruled out for Week 5 after that nasty concussion we saw him. Teddy Bridgewater time, guys. We watched that game. The first half, Tua seemed to be throwing the ball downfield a lot to both Waddle and Hill, and then the injury occurred, and Teddy comes in, and it seemed to be more check down Teddy stuff. He likes Hill, but he was not going to Waddle. Is this a trend that continues? Are we worried?
I mean, he's kind of been checked down Teddy for a while, so I think we saw what we got. I actually thought he went downfield a little bit more than I thought he was going to. Like he had that fairly long pass to Hill. I think the beauty of that offense though is you can still get points even with a check down quarterback because they can hit those guys on quick slants. They what they want to do is get them in stride running, and that's what Hill and Waddle do the best. And so I don't think it's a horrible thing that Teddy's there. They're not going to get the long balls, but they'll make it up in shorter passes and yardage.
And the long pass he did connect to Hill was actually underthrown, tipped by the defender, almost picked, and then fell into Tyreek Hill's hands. So let's
the way you draw it up.
Yeah, just the way you draw it up. And I just worry about Waddle. He doesn't seem to connect with Waddle like Tua does. Tua played college ball with them. They had a great connection, and I do worry about Waddle in my Dynasty League now that Teddy's in there. How long do we think Tua's going to be out? Is this something that's going to be weeks?
I don't know. This is a confusing situation.
No.
Not revealing a lot right now, and I think they're trying to investigate like if there was any prior damage to him neurologically and so on and so forth. They're not releasing a ton of info. So by looking at things like the past 2 games and his, this stuff and falling over would mean he needs to sit out a month. Could be worse. But on paper, the way they're discussing it, he's going to be as like a normal type of concussion. He'll be back in a week. I don't know.
Part of me feels like he already said he's feeling better. Part of me feels like he might have been able to play this week, but to appease the NFL and their investigation, they're probably just like, no. We're shutting down. We're going to say it right now, like first day of the week. Nah, he's not playing.
Right.
fantasy heroes and zeros.
Yeah.
All right. Heroes and zeros. Let's go over our list of guys that we're excited that had big weeks, and then we'll talk about the guys that came up as duds. We'll start with the heroes. I'm going to start with Justin Herbert because last year he was a 0. This year he comes last week, and this week he comes in and goes 27 for 39, 340 yards, 2 TDs, looked healthy, was firing the ball, still didn't have Keenan Allen, but still had a tremendous game. What'd you guys think?
It's a really nice week for him. I agree with you. Total hero. In fact, I benched him in one league because I was worried about the injury and he was an afternoon game. So I went with freaking Cousins in the beginning game and I missed out on about 20 points. So,
ouch. Yeah.
It's very reassuring.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom Brady, 39 of 52, 385, 3 touchdowns and a fumble. Now, the team is not playing great, and they got way behind against the Chiefs in this game. But Tom Brady looked like a little bit more like Tom Brady. He had some more healthy weapons. Evans was back. He looked good. He had a nice fantasy day. So, Tom Brady, hero this week. Does this continue, or is this like a one-off?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're asking me. Sorry to interrupt, but
I'm asking you.
It should continue unless his personal life gets in the way, which seems like it's falling to pieces, at least in the media's eyes. So, but he's a pretty strong guy mentally. So I don't know if he's going to be getting the kind of touchdowns he normally does, but it looks like he's going to be coming from behind a lot more. So he's going to be throwing a hell of a lot of yards. So I think it'll continue. May not be quite like last year, but I think he's still going to put up numbers.
If you look at the schedule, their next couple weeks are against easier teams. So they'll get leads.
I will say this too. The Chiefs played out of their damn mind. Like the Chiefs could not make a mistake. They did everything perfect. The Buccaneers defense is actually pretty good and they schooled them. So I kind of feel like this was an anomaly. I don't feel like Tom Brady's going to have this kind of week every week. I feel like it's going to be like once every 3 weeks, he's going to tease us with a week like this. And then he's going to have some pretty average normal weeks, a couple weeks in a row, and then have another outstanding week. And every now and then he'll sprinkle in a crap week and we'll start talking about his retirement. And then he'll come back for another big week. And he's toying with our emotions, basically.
He just wanted to remind us that we thought he was done, and he's not. Yeah. So let us know one more time. Nick Chubb, again, 19 carries for 118, a TD, 2 catches for 9 yards, and is now the running back uno in fantasy football. Are we surprised?
A little.
Yeah, a little. Not surprised at his talent because he's always been a really great running back, but surprised that he's able to get the kind of yards he is on an offense where nobody's scared of the quarterback.
Good point. That's the main reason I was off Nick Chubb this year. I'm thinking he shares carries, with Hunt already, and you don't have Watson in the backfield. You have this journeyman Jacoby Brissett. They're going to stack the line, and it just doesn't matter. Nick Chubb's a beast. He's healthy, and you could tell. Dameon Pierce, John, 2 weeks in a row. 14 carries for 131, a 75-yard touchdown run, and he caught 6 balls, only for 8 yards, but hell, six catches. That's a touchdown,
Targets.
Baby.
Yeah.
It's an extra touchdown. What do we think? Is he starting to look like an RB2?
Yeah. He's starting to look like an RB1. I mean, it's not like there's that many RB1s out there right now that are looking fantastic. So if you had him on your team these last 2 weeks, I guarantee you did pretty well. If you have some players around him. I was so impressed with that guy. His speed, he runs with power. He runs angry, but he's got that speed, man. He kicked it in. That 75-yard was ridiculous. So,
that was beautiful. That was so nice.
Yeah.
So nice for all of us to have shares of Pierce.
That's right.
Right back at you, John, because Derrick Henry did his thing. Looked like Derrick Henry. 22 carries, 122, a touchdown. Also added 3 receptions for 33 yards and is now the RB5 in fantasy football. So here he comes. Just like
also
he thought.
Had another touchdown called back. Almost had an even bigger day. So he was great. And again, like you said, he's back. To me, this week was the first time I went, oh, there he is. There's Derek. I missed you, buddy. Right? Like, I mean, he looked powerful. He looked fast. He looked every bit as dominant as he should.
There's a lot of running back heroes this week. Tony, here's another one. Saquon Barkley, 31 carries, 146, 2 receptions for 16 yards, is the RB2 right now in fantasy football. He was the entire offense for the Giants, who barely threw the ball at all. I mean, what can we say about Saquon?
Well, he looks strong and healthy. He looks great, like when he was younger, which he's still young, but like he was before he had his injury. I hope they don't wear him down. They need to start throwing the ball more. But as healthy as he looks, man, as strong as he looks, I think he's going to keep it up. I got him and Pierce, and probably you're going to bring up Rashad Penny. And I'm actually putting Zeke Elliott on my bench in that league. Wow. So Barkley is like the man now. I'm feeling that was a great pick. He looks amazing.
You mentioned a guy named Rashad Penny?
Never heard of him.
I don't know who that is. He had 17 carries for 151, 2 touchdowns, and 1 catch for 6 yards. And I'm just going to say it. If you're playing the Lions, play the opposite team's running backs. Okay? Yes. Rashad Penny looked fantastic. He looked like he did last year at the end of the year when he was rolling off 100-yard games left and right. Also, Tony, coming right back at you because you also have some Miles Sanders. 27 carries. Wow, that's a lot of carries, guys.
Yeah.
134, 2 touchdowns. He already has how many? Does he have 4 touchdowns this year, John? 3? He has 3 touchdowns.
3. That's 3.
3 more than he had in the entire 2021 season. And he had 2 catches for 22 yards. I'm actually impressed with Miles Sanders. He looks really explosive.
Yeah, he's exciting. Exciting. A lot of guys out there we weren't quite expecting. We thought maybe at best running back 2s, and now they're starting to look like running back 1s.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm just impressed with the Eagles' offense in general. It's a juggernaut. They got down 14-0 against the Jags, and then they just kicked it into high gear and picked up the offense and got it done. I mean, they're a good team.
Good team.
I like watching them play.
Yep.
Austin Eckler, despite me talking shit, okay, he came through. He still wasn't getting like a lot of the goal line carries, and he wasn't like getting 75% of the actual carries. He was still splitting time, but he came through. 13 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also added 6 catches for 49 and a late touchdown in the air. So good game for Austin Eckler, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, he's so inconsistent that it drives me nuts. But boy, when he has good games, really good games, this was a really good game.
Speaking of a really good game, and I kind of feel like this is a one-off, Josh Jacobs, my God, 28 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 more catches for 31 yards. Looked like the RB1 in that system. He was not sharing carries much. He looked fantastic. That was his best game he's had in years, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say.
Is he sell high candidate?
Look to trade Josh Jacobs like right now.
I'd trade Josh Jacobs on the strength of that game alone.
Okay. And then last running back, Jamal Williams, 19 carries for 108 and 2 touchdowns, who, by the way, is RB4 in fantasy football.
Crazy.
I mean, it's insane because Swift looks so good to come out of the gate, and now Jamal Williams is RB4. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, their offensive line is tremendous. They're giving Goff all kinds of time to throw. He had over 300 yards. Fantastic offense.
Goff is the only quarterback this year with multiple 4-touchdown games. I need you just to hear what I just said.
Yeah.
Goff
crazy.
is the only quarterback in the league to have multiple games with 4 touchdowns.
So the Lions lead the league in scoring, and they are the worst team in the league in points allowed.
Which is great if you
For
own fantasy offensive players.
Yes.
It's like the perfect recipe for greatness.
That's why Goff's top 10. That's why Jamal's top 5. Amon St. Brown's top 10. Josh Reynolds had a good week. I mean, Hawkinson, we're going to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson, baby. 10 catches, 147. 1 carry for 3 yards for a touchdown. Back up to wide receiver 4. John, I know you're happy.
I'm happy because I've drafted him in the first round, and he played like a first-round draft pick. Like, it was so good. Just he even got his first carry for a touchdown this last week. I mean, it was cool. It was really good. Honestly, I think his week could have been even better. Cousins missed him on a few things.
He did. He missed him a few times.
Yeah.
Tony, Tyreek Hill, 10 catches for 160. Wide receiver 2 in fantasy football. What do you think?
Oh, it was great. Some of it was, hate to say it, a little bit lucky in my opinion, kind of fell his way, but that doesn't mean he still didn't put up 100 yards. He still had a hell of a game. I hope that he can remain open and remain getting the ball because that's what we need from him.
Debo! 6 catches for 115, an amazing 57-yard touchdown run where he broke several tackles against the Rams.
So good.
Had 2 carries. He only had 2 carries, John, for 2 yards, so they weren't using him much in that backfield. But again, he comes through. He does it one way or the other. Great game from Debo.
I'd like to apologize to Debo. Debo, if you're listening, I wasn't a believer. I doubted. I didn't think you could do it again. You had Trey as a quarterback. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Debo.
That was a heartfelt apology, John.
Yeah. Well, he helped me win a week in one of my leagues.
The least you could do.
So the least I could do is just tell him I'm sorry. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets the message. I know he's a big fan of the show.
I have to apologize. Yeah, he is. I have to apologize as well to Cooper Kupp. My sincere apologies. We all doubted you that you could do it again, what you did last year.
Mhm.
And you're going to do it again. You're not going to get the touchdowns this year that you got last year. I think you had 18 touchdowns last year. But my God, you're going to catch maybe more balls, and you're getting the yardage. You come through with 14 for 122. You are the wide receiver 1 in fantasy football again. And Stafford doesn't want to throw to anybody else. It's amazing.
He doesn't.
I
He
think
doesn't. He doesn't.
We've got a new segment called I'm Sorry. We'll be doing these later.
We should do that next week. That sounds good.
Yeah.
And John, now I'd like you to apologize to our entire freaking league for allowing TJ Hawkinson to go to the waiver wire and go to another team. And now that team is reaping the benefits.
If I may, though, you also picked him up and then dropped him.
I did not pick him up.
Oh, wait, no, it was your cousin. Anyway, somebody else picked him up and then dropped him because for 2 more games after I dropped him, he still sucked. I had to make some room. I needed a tight end, or I needed somebody because of an injury. And so I did drop the Hawk because he wasn't getting the Goff was only looking at Amon-Ra. So Amon wasn't playing. Hawk came back. Nice job, Hawk. I'm sorry, league.
8 catches for 179, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. He jumped a tight end too.
Good, it was a good day. It was a good day. But that tells you how much the tight ends suck this year.
Yeah, we'll get to that, Johnny. So when Amon-Ra, St. Brown is out, and also Swift is out, Hawkinson seems to get a lot of love.
Yeah, and I'd say Josh Reynolds is also up there too. Josh had a really nice.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Nice day.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce did it again, 9 for 92 and a touchdown. Tight end 1. Maybe another guy I need to apologize to because I did doubt that he could do it again, and yet he's doing it again.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And last hero, it's as a whole, the San Francisco defense. My God, they dominated that game last night. 9 points allowed, 7 sacks on Stafford, a fumble recovery, and a pick 6. And the Niners defense is now overall defense number 1 in fantasy football. That's insane.
You didn't see that coming.
I mean,
I knew they'd be good. I just didn't think they'd be number 1. My God.
Yeah.
so last night in my Dynasty League, just a quick story. I was having a pretty good week. I had 2 guys left. I had Debo and the San Francisco defense. It was happy time.
Yeah.
Not only did I win my matchup, but I catapulted in total points to first place just because these guys just went completely ballistic.
Wow.
I love it.
Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, nice job, man.
Fun night. All right. We got to talk about the zeros now. I don't have a long list because, who wants to talk about crap, right? Let's start with Javonte Williams. I mean, even before he got hurt, he wasn't having a great day. He was getting all the love, but he only had 28 yards on 10 carries. He had 1 reception, and he tore his knee. He's out for the year. Very sad, but he is a 0 because he came up small even before he got hurt. All right?
That
man.
was a mean-spirited 0.
That was
okay.
mean. Yeah, I mean, Javonte cut me last night because I have him in a lot of leagues hurt. So
yeah.
James Robinson came back down to earth. 8 carries, 29 yards. And he wasn't passing down back in comeback mode for Jacksonville. Not at all. He wasn't in there. Tony, I mean,
I don't know what to say
Sign of
about
things
that.
to come.
Yeah, they didn't utilize him much, and they could have used him. You know, is it going to be, you know, one of those guys where he's going to be an every other week guy and we're scared to start him?
Yep.
And a big disappointment.
ETN, ETN, ETN.
I hope.
Although he didn't really do crap either.
He didn't
so.
do much either. They went to, I mean, Jamal Agnew used to be a running back. They converted him to wide receiver, and they used him kind of in that role we were hoping ETN would be in, like the passing down back. They went to Jamal Agnew quite a bit. So I don't know what to think, man. Amari Cooper, after the great game he had last week, this week he gets 1 catch for 9 yards.
I don't get it.
It's Jacoby Brissett. This is what happens when you have crappy quarterback play. The inconsistency will be there. Another one is in Atlanta. You know, Drake London, 2 catches for 17 yards, and Kyle Pitts, 1 catch for 25 yards. They only completed 7 balls the entire game. That's what happens when Marcus Mariota is your quarterback. I mean, I'm starting to worry about Kyle Pitts, guys. I don't know what to say. I mean, the guy is a beast. He's got great hands. He's fast. And they just don't throw him the ball. What are we doing?
When they do throw him the ball, it's not a good throw. Like they overthrew him like 3 or 4 times. How do you overthrow Kyle Pitts, Marcus Mariota? How do you do that? I almost think it's Ritter time.
You got to think about Ritter in this situation. If you're only completing 7 passes the whole game and you're relying on your running game that much to stay in a ball game, it's quarterback play. You got to think about it. You got to. Deontay Johnson, 2 catches for 12 yards, 2 carries for 12 yards. Yeah, just what are we doing?
Hopefully, just a bad week. We'll see when Pickett gets in it.
Jalen Waddle, 2 catches for 39 yards, and he had both of those catches pre-Teddy Bridgewater coming into the game. So once Teddy came in there, boop, 0.
Yeah,
I'm worried.
We call that PTB. Pre-Teddy Bridgewater.
PTB. Yeah. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, 15 yards. Still tight end 3, but he had a bad game.
It's a bad game.
All right, let's not talk about those guys anymore.
Wait, can we talk about one more from Baltimore?
Yeah, go for it.
Rashad Bateman. Where are you?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Where are you? 3 catches for 17 yards? I caught almost as many passes as you did, Rashad Bateman. Just 3 shy.
Why is Devin Duvernay outperforming Rashad Bateman?
I don't get it.
I'm angry.
A career backup player, Devin Duvernay, is outperforming your first round pick. What are we doing?
I honestly think that I don't know if he stole Lamar's sandwich. I don't know if he said something about his mama. I don't know.
You ain't talking about my motherfucking mama.
Yeah, because he's close with his mom. That might be my guess. And maybe he said something about, oh yeah, well your mom's your agent. She is, but it might have made Lamar mad, and that's why he's not throwing. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ten things we learned.
10 things we've learned through week 4. So these are 10 things that I believe the secrets have been unveiled, and this is the way it's going to be the rest of the year. Okay.
All right.
First off, Breece Hall. We talked about Breece Hall earlier before, in the preseason. We were saying, give it some time. Rookies take time, but Breece Hall will eventually win out because of his talent. And that is what is happening right before our eyes. He took over the RB1 role in New York, and I don't think he's going to look back, guys. This is what we saw in week 4. He saw 66% of the snaps, 65% of the rushing attempts, 61% of all routes from the running back position, 50% of the 2-minute offense, 71% of the third and longs, 100% short yardage, 100% inside the 5 and the 10-yard line. So he's also the goal line back.
Those are big. That's big.
Big numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's Breece Hall time, guys. Is this an RB2 or do we think he could be an RB1?
Yeah, I think he could be a 1. I think he could be a 1 too. Yeah. I would like to acknowledge your man crush, though, if we could, Chuck, because you have been crushing on Brees since before the season. Yeah. And so I want to make sure I say your crush, well deserved, sir. I get it. I get it. I get it.
You get it. You see the beauty in Brees Hall now.
I do.
That's what I saw, the inner beauty.
Oh, yeah. It's inner and outer now because he was holding it in the beginning, right? Like all you knew was about the inner beauty, and now he's released the hounds and he's gone. Okay. Well deserved.
Gracias. Number 2, Allen Robinson is just not good at football anymore, guys. He's a fantasy dud, while Cooper Kupp remains the best wide receiver in football. And Stafford has no intention of looking Allen Robinson's way because I don't think he's getting open, guys. It's as simple as that. What do you think? Tony, tell me what you think.
He must not be. There's no other explanation for it. We can go to the whole sandwich theory or, that Johnny was talking about. I know his mom's not an agent, so what could it be? I mean, he doesn't get open, I guess. There's 4 or 5 guys that get more balls, more looks, more targets before him. And he used to be a dynamic, fast, incredible wide receiver. And he's just like gone for a couple years now.
Yeah, not only is he not looking his way and throwing to Cooper Kupp, he's also looking at Tyler Higbee before he even looks at Allen Robinson. So Allen Robinson's way down the depth chart. Now I'm starting to hear rumors that they can't wait for Van Jefferson to get back, and they're taking a look at Odell Beckham. I think they just wasted that. How much did he get? $48 million?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Sad. It really is.
I have a friend who's a doctor who said that if you watch Allen Robinson play, you could tell he's got a condition, and that condition's called.
Oh, is that what it is?
Tony has that condition.
That's the medical condition. Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Yep. Yeah, he's a garbage dumpster.
Garbage. The guy's garbage.
Number 3, Dameon Pierce was worth all the hype.
Yeah.
Talk to me, Johnny.
He was. Just plain and simple. He was. That was. I had a little bit of a man crush. I'll admit it. I'm okay admitting that. And you know what? It was well founded. That man is a beast. He's going to end up in the top 5 in running backs by the end of the year. To the show.
I'd like to say you did not have a little man crush. You were freaking in love with Dameon Pierce. You took him in the 2nd round, Johnny.
Yes.
That is more than a man crush. You took him 3 rounds ahead of his ADP because that's how much you loved him. And by God, it's beautiful. The man is
poetry. It's poetry in motion.
I don't know if he's going to be able to finish top 5 in that Houston offense, but top 10 is doable. I know.
I'll take a top 10. I'll take a top 10.
Yeah, we all will. We all have shares of them. Yep. We all took turns taking them in each league. So,
I would like to say it was the end of the 2nd round. I could,
it was.
It's the 2nd round, but it was at the end.
All right, Tony, I'm coming to you on this one. Number 4. Just you can tell me if you agree with this, but I kind of feel it's true. Jonathan Taylor ain't going to be the RB1 again this year.
All right, you guys have a good night. We'll talk to you next week. Yeah, you're probably right. He hasn't looked good from the very beginning. He got some stuff to figure out there, and Matt Ryan's obviously throwing the ball a hell of a lot. So I don't know what to say. I took him first in 2 leagues, I think. And paying for it. So I'm just hoping that he can get, remain in the top 10. Remains in the top 10, you're gonna get enough points out of him that I can survive. But it's not really feeling that way. Now he's hurt. I don't understand this minor high ankle sprain. Never heard of one. High ankle's usually annoying.
It's minor high ankle.
3-day event,
Yeah, it's not minor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But I don't like him as the number 1 right now at all.
I had the number 1 pick in our big money league, and I passed on him, and I took Christian McCaffrey, and I'm very happy I did that. Although Christian McCaffrey may not be the number 1 running back because he's fighting it out with Nick Chubb and Saquon Barkley. But as long as these 3 stay healthy, it looks like they're going to be your best running backs in fantasy football. And I'm okay with having a top 3 running back because I don't think Jonathan Taylor is even going to finish in the top 3.
Dameon Pierce is going to be better.
than Jonathan Taylor?
Yep.
Wow. That's a
Yep.
bold statement, John, even now.
You heard me. Write it down. Sketch it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Record this segment. Johnny says Dameon Pierce will finish
Better
than Jonathan Taylor in fantasy.
than JT.
All right. So number 5, that was Nick Chubb, Barkley, and Christian McCaffrey will be your top 3 running backs as long as they're healthy. Number 6, Romeo Doubs was an absolute steal in the draft and is looking like Rodgers' number 1 guy going forward.
Yep. Some of you didn't even have to draft him. I mean, some of you picked him up as a free agent.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, if you picked him up as a free agent, or if you drafted him in the 11th or 12th round, like I did in most leagues, you feeling good right now.
He's a little bit like the Amon-Ra St. Brown and Justin Jefferson his rookie year. Waited a little bit for the first couple of games and then starting to take off.
And then boom.
Yep.
All right. Number 7, J.K. Dobbins can be trusted and will be an RB2 going forward. He looked good, guys. He looked like the old J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
The thing, though, about this, for fantasy-wise, if you have Lamar Jackson, you have to be a little concerned, fantasy-wise, because Dobbins got a lot of work at the goal line, got 2 touchdowns. These are places that normally Lamar Jackson throws or runs the ball in.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he's kind of going to take points away. Remember when J.K. Dobbins burst onto the scene? That was the year Lamar Jackson kind of had a down year, remember? 2 years ago? He was coming off his MVP year, monster year, and then J.K. Dobbins comes in and gets a lot of work and touchdowns, and Lamar Jackson wasn't really as good. So I'm a little concerned about that. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Do you guys have Lamar? Any shares?
I don't
have any. This is the first year I don't have 1 share of him. And it's the first year since he's been in the league.
Okay, well, let's be happy about this then. I need Lamar to chill out. For other people that definitely have shares of Lamar, they do need to be concerned. It's not going to be major, but yeah, what are you going to take away 4 or 5 potential touchdowns over the season that Lamar could have been?
But then he also might be able to finish the season without getting injured and missing a game too.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
You never know. I actually think it's a good thing for him because defenses can't just key on him on the goal line and they're not going to, then beat the crap out of him. They'll have to worry about Dobbins too. I think it's going to open it up. I think actually you'll see Manders get a couple more passes because J.K. Dobbins is in the lineup.
All right, we'll see. Number 8. Can we stop with the damn London games or the overseas games? They're absolutely horrible for football in general and definitely for fantasy football. If you had Kamara and you're on the West Coast, you threw Kamara in your lineup because he was supposedly going to play. It's 6:30 in the morning, the game starts, and right before the game, they rule Kamara out. So most of the West Coasters were sleeping. Kamara's still in their lineup, and you're screwed. If we're going to play these games, John, in Europe, why can't we start them at the same time as our normal games at 10 a.m. on the West Coast? What are we doing?
I think because that's like midnight in England.
I know, but they need to come like somewhere in between. Maybe like an hour, 2 hours even. Figure something
Make it
out
the Sunday night game. So it's morning in London.
So you play
Sunday
3 in the morning and then...
No. Like the Sunday night game here.
It's a 10-hour difference. They're
It would
10 hours.
be it would be morning there, early morning. Why don't we do that?
Like I say, so it's like 4 or 5 in the afternoon when they start the game in London. Why can't they wait till like 7 in the evening? Like
You're right. It's not even a problem. Just move it up a couple hours so that all the games start at 10 a.m. Pacific time
weird.
or
Very
1 o'clock
weird.
Eastern, whatever it is.
I don't understand why. I'm with you. I don't get it.
Nobody's watching on the West Coast, by the way, at 6:30 in the morning. I mean, I woke up just to make sure my lineups were fine, and then I went back to sleep. I didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? And the games are always crappy there. Weird things happen in London or Mexico City or wherever they play, and nobody cares about football. And the people that are at the stadium watching the games flew over from the United States to watch the game. Have you noticed that?
There's a bunch, yeah. There was a few.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the teams too. And they got to travel like that and go to a different country and everything.
And they lose a home game.
10%. I mean,
yeah. So like the Saints were the home team, so they lose an actual home game at the Dome
Right.
to go to London and play, and they lost. All right, Geno Smith, I think this year is a better fantasy quarterback going forward than Russell Wilson.
That is bold.
It's not a prediction. It's what I truly believe, John. I think Geno Smith is a better fantasy quarterback in his current circumstances in Seattle than Russell Wilson in Denver will be.
I mean, it's hard, man, because you look at some of the weapons, although he did just lose his main running back with Russell. Geno's playing out of his damn mind. Geno looks good. Geno looks good. I might be there with you, actually.
Geno Smith is quarterback 4. Do you know where Russell Wilson is?
Like, what, 15, 16?
Keep going.
Oh,
No.
wow. 22.
You know what? You nailed it. He's 15. I'm sorry. I missed him. He's 15.
Still.
So Russell Wilson is quarterback 15. Geno Smith is quarterback 4 currently. So there's a big difference.
I'll take shit nobody guessed for 1,000, Alex.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know how long that's going to last, either one of them. But I'm worried about Russell. He sucks, dude. They look terrible. He looks terrible.
He does. He looks bad. That offense looks bad. They lose another weapon. I mean, I don't know, man. Geno looks great, though. All right. Number 10, the tight end position after Kelsey and Andrews is an absolute freaking dumpster fire. It's like word boggle. Put them in a bottle and shake them up and spit them out, and that's your quarterback, or excuse me, your top 10 tight end for the week. It's crazy.
It's an abomination.
It's an abomination. Hawkinson went from tight end like 28 to tight end 2 in 1 week. I mean, it's insane.
So ridiculous.
Here's your top 10 tight ends. Kelsey's 1, Hawkinson 2, Andrews 3, Higbee 4, Ertz 5, Everett 6, Goddard 7, Freiermuth 8, Conklin 9, and Disley 10. Will Disley's 10th.
Can't believe Njoku's not in there.
Not in the top 10. Njoku, Darren Waller, Kyle Pitts, Dawson Knox. Wow. I mean, half of the top 10 are guys we didn't even frickin' draft, guys.
No. Some of them are still on not people's teams.
Some of them are free agents.
Yes.
Conklin was a free agent until last week. Disley is still a free agent. Top 10 tight end.
But his numbers still aren't that good, though. Top 10 or not. The numbers are not that impressive.
Because the tight end is
because the tight end suck.
Fire. Exactly.
I actually think you just proved his point.
Yeah.
And I also want to throw in that not only are tight ends a dumpster fire, but taking what happened last year and trying to draft a defense based on what they did last year is also a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Okay. The top 10 in defenses this year, 49ers are 1, Bills 2. I could get that. Then the Eagles are 3, the Bucks are 4, Jaguars are 5th, Broncos are 6th, the Cowboys are 7th, Packers 8, Bengals 9, Patriots 10. I mean, how do we predict this stuff?
I have no idea.
You can't.
Here's the moral of the story for next year's draft. Tight end. If you don't get Andrews or Kelsey, wait. Just wait. Defense. Just wait. Just wait. Don't take a defense until late in the draft. And I mean like the last 2-3 rounds. Because what is the freaking point?
The way it was 10 or 15 years ago. What
is the point, guys? You can half these teams were on the waiver wire as well on for their defenses.
Yeah.
Now, if you took the Bills and you probably had to take them early, you're probably happy. But the Niners, I mean, I took the Niners late, guys, and they're the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anybody on the waiver wire you guys are looking at for the people at home? Anybody on the waiver wire they should take a look at?
We kind of mentioned earlier, I think you're gonna have to look at Boone. I think you're gonna have to look at the kid out of Algiers for the Falcons, since Cordero is going to be on the bench for 4 weeks at least. So you're going to have to look at a couple of those guys. Some of these tight ends that you're talking about, Njoku might still be on the bench for you, or it might be on the waiver wire. I'd go look at him. His last 2 weeks, he's definitely picked up from the first two. And Jaguars defense is number 5. There's not one of you that has the Jaguars defense on your team unless you just picked them up out of desperation. So I would look at them too.
Yeah, and depending on who your QB is, you can't overlook Geno Smith. Points after points after points.
Yeah.
At least ride the wave while it's hot, you know?
I dropped Fields to get Geno Smith.
Great move.
Fields was awful.
Never thought that. Ever.
No.
We made fun of Geno Smith before the season. Let's be
real.
We
were making fun of Geno Smith 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I was making fun of him probably last week. I mean, I'm probably still going to make fun of him. It's Geno Smith.
It's Geno. Yeah.
Any wide receivers you're looking at?
So I'd say if Amon-Ra is going to be on the bench, I'd look at Reynolds again. In Tennessee, if Bobby Trees happens to be out there, probably not. He's probably on a team, but maybe not. It's if you're in a not too deep a league.
How about Isaiah McKenzie in Buffalo? Now that we know their slot receiver broke his ankle, so now that we know the Crowder's out, Isaiah McKenzie is a good pickup, but he's got a concussion. So I am keeping my eye on Shakir, the rookie in Buffalo, who could be in the slot if McKenzie doesn't go with the concussion this week. So keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. Okay. Anyone else at receiver we're looking at?
Shoot.
Alec Pierce in Indianapolis had a big game.
Yeah. Curtis Samuel might be out there. He's still doing okay. He's not doing great, but he's doing okay. Mac Hollins is probably back on the bench. Yeah, he kind of came back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, I had no interest in Mac Hollins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys a nugget here. Just hear me out. Odell Beckham Jr.
Never heard of him.
Go get him. If you have Fab, you can throw $1 at him and go get him. And it's free. Just wait a few weeks. This is a second half play. I got 2 second half plays. That's one, because Beckham could end up on the Bills. Yeah. He could end up on the Chiefs. Or he could go back to the Rams where they desperately need him. And he could be a really good player. Now hold your horses, John. Don't go fucking pick him up right now. Give me a chance to get him.
I just did.
Okay. My second guy is Jameson Williams. A lot of leagues, people have stashed him on the bench. If he's out there, though, go get Jameson Williams. He's really, really good rookie receiver. He's going to be coming back soon from his torn ACL. I like him down the stretch. Those are 2 guys you can get for really cheap.
Those are good ones. You know who else I might keep an eye on? I'm not saying to go pick him up yet. I think Nico Collins is going to start heating up a little bit for Houston.
I like that.
And I think he's out there. So I would say start looking at that guy.
How about Elijah Moore as well? A lot of people dropped Elijah Moore. He could be on the waiver wire. Take a peek.
If they are, go pick him up. I'd pick him up. Yeah.
I would see.
I've seen Boyd available in a few of my leagues.
Tyler Boyd, yeah.
Well, TB, I'll take him.
Sure. Higgins gets hurt a lot. He misses not a lot of games, but he gets hurt. So.
He gets banged up a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Another fantastic show, fellas.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Good one.
Appreciate.
Hey, I have one more nugget. If Cooper Kupp's out there, maybe go pick him
absolutely.
up. Yeah, he's a really good receiver for the Rams. You guys I know they're struggling a little bit.
This is why Johnny freaking ball games on the show.
Cooper Kupp. Just remember the name, Cooper Kupp. You might hear from him again. You might.
Cooper.
Thanks, Johnny Ballgame. You're the man.
All right, Chuckles. Thanks, man. Thanks for bringing us home, brother.
Tony Sir Poops a lot. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Reaper. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for watching Fantasy Sports Island. We do this every week. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We'll see you next week. Aloha.
Peace.
Later.